Alright Guardians, this is our weekly solo player's guide to the Nightfall. If you're new to the channel, we usually do this with all three strikes, all three classes, Warlock, Hunter, and Titan, on every single Tuesday and Wednesday. That's been a little different since I've been busier, but here we go. This is going to be a Hunter guide on the Garden World Strike. Modifiers include Void, Singe, Heavyweight, and Momentum. If you're going for 100,000 points, bump the handicap up to about 3.0, and I would also add probably Iron to this. As far as setup goes, we're rocking the Void Hunter subclass. Top tree, right? Yes, the top tree with Orpheus Rigs. We're also rocking Bad Juju because we just got that, as well as the Recluse and the Brave Tech Osprey. If you don't have this one, maybe you have a Swarm of the Raven. Just pretty much any Void thing that is either a grenade launcher or a rocket launcher is going to do you very well. Not Truth, because for whatever reason that doesn't do a whole lot of damage on bosses and stuff. And if you don't have the Recluse, pretty much anything Void will do you well. Maybe even Borealis if you don't want to rock Bad Juju. And if you don't want to rock Bad Juju, I would suggest something like a hand cannon. Maybe Mountaintop if you have that. But Recluse is going to do really, really well for you. And in case if you're wondering what my other stuff is, we're rocking the Vortex Grenade, the Marksman's Dodge, and Strafe Jump. Strafe Jump, best jump, in my opinion. But other than that, let's go ahead and rock this guide really quick. Alright, so as soon as you spawn in, you have two options. You can either go straight into the Infinite Forest, or if you're going for 100,000 points, you probably want to kill these guys as well. And then while you're in the Infinite Forest, you can do the same thing depending on completion or 100,000 point completion. Go ahead and rock the enemies out, or run past everything. Momentum really will help with that as well. But since the Infinite Forest is pretty random, we're not going to do a guide on it. Just be very careful, use cover to your advantage, and then we will rock this guide from where everyone gets the same thing. Alright, once you get here, you need to be very careful. As you can see by the timestamp, I died a couple times and started all the way back here. I will point out when you actually get the checkpoint so you don't keep coming back to this spot. And it's kind of far, so like I said, be very careful. Kill the Minotaurs as quickly as possible since they're doing Void. Use the cover to your advantage and take out the Centurions as quickly as possible as well, just because they're also doing Void. Pretty much take out the Void damage enemies and then move on from there. If you got a Void shotgun, that would also be really handy. Maybe you got a good rolled PvE rolled retold tale. That would be pretty good as well. You can get that on the Dreaming City. Using my rocket launcher here because there's a bunch of ads. I don't want to deal with them all at once. And since I didn't have my tether, the next best thing is Osprey because it has a huge area of effect as far as damage goes. Blast radius, I guess, is what you want to call it. But just continue to move throughout here. Really remember Momentum is on, so be very, very careful. Unless, of course, you don't have Momentum, maybe you went Iron and Extinguish, which is another good option for 100,000 points. If you're going for just a regular completion, you don't necessarily need Momentum on, but it might help you out. Could also make it a lot harder. Depends on your playstyle, I guess. But what I like to do here is go ahead and pop this cube, get rid of that shield, and then come running all the way back, pop my tether here, kill all these guys. Be very careful of that dude because sometimes he will just smash you straight into that wall, and you'll have to start all over from the beginning of this section. So it's happened. I can attest to that. from personal experience. But what you want to do here is, again, there are 2 Centurions, so take out what you can from a distance and make sure you're very, very aware of those 2. Like a rocket launcher, we'll take at least one of them out, and then there we go. Once you got those guys down, go ahead and just pop the cube. You're going to have some more Cabal fighting the Vex, unless of course you get the Vex only version, which is actually quite a bit easier in my opinion, just because you don't have all of this void damage coming at you. But I like to just kind of sneak around here, kill all these guys, use these little towers to my advantage, and then you can pop your tether here if you want to, but obviously it works just as fine without it. And then we are going to use a smoke bomb and a grenade to kill everything else in this room, including that elite harpy. Once you go up here, pop your super if you have it. If you want to use it, you don't have to. Just be very careful, because we're still not at that checkpoint, by the way. So be very careful. Like if you have like a class item that lets you pick up orbs and get like health or shield regeneration, definitely throw that on as well, and make some orbs, because that will help you get through this bit a lot. Like it actually helps a lot. And then once you get here, just do the exact same thing. I'm taking these guys out before, because we're still not at the checkpoint. So you want to be very careful. If they're by this thing, kill them immediately. Don't wait, and don't shoot your thing from there. And we're just going to kill them from back here. And then we're just going to bum rush with Recluse, because Recluse is amazing in PvE. Please don't nerf it. Not in PvE. Please, not in PvE. But yeah, if you don't have it, definitely grind out a comp for it. I would suggest doing it in like the first 2 or 3 weeks. Just like really trigger down. I did it solo. You guys can do it solo too. I'm not the best in PvP, but in the first couple weeks of every season, it is a whole lot easier to get that done. This is where you finally get the checkpoint, by the way. You have to make it all the way here without dying from when you enter the Infinite Forest. You know, this version of the Infinite Forest. And then once you're here, go ahead and just kill these guys. And kill these guys. You know, kind of keep your distance. Definitely don't rush. And then I like to kill these guys from distance as well. A grenade or a grenade launcher, or even a rocket, would speed this up if you're going for 100,000 points and you're crunching on time. And then once you kill everything, we'll go up to the next area. Alright, so after a few more 100 deaths, we finally beat it this time. But what you want to do is just kind of stick back. Try and kill the harpies and pretty much the Vex, because the hobgoblins are going to be sniping you and they're going to hit you hard regardless of what burn you have on. And then the harpies are also doing void damage, so it makes them pretty lethal as well. So either a rocket launcher, Recluse, just something, get them out of the way. Be very careful of those grenades that the hobgoblins chuck down at you. You might even want to focus out on the hobgoblins first. Like if you're using a sniper rifle, that would be really good for them, in my opinion. And then once you got them dead, quickly make your way and pop this orb or that cube right there. Pop your tether, throw a grenade, kill as many of these guys as quickly as possible, and then, you know, like a grenade launcher or a rocket launcher, whatever power ammo you're rocking is really going to speed this up, obviously. And then once everything is dead, we'll run to get our health back, kill this guy, pop the cube, and if you're going for 1,000 points, obviously you want to kill the dudes up in this next section. We are going to skip it because we are not doing 100,000 points in the actual run. And or if you're just crunched for time and you have over 100,000 points, maybe you just want to skip that part. There you go. Once you get here, go ahead and pop the cube and wait for the cover to pop up. And once it pops up, we are not going to shoot the boss at all. Not quite yet. Just get behind this cover. We're going to kill that guy, kill this guy, and that guy. There should be one more guy. There he is. We're going to make sure that's reloaded. Pop up, shoot the boss. As you can see, he does a lot of damage thanks to the cluster bombs. We're going to recluse our way out of this bad situation. And we're going to go invis, get the momentum going, get under this cover right here, take these guys out. And then we're going to take these two guys out as well. Be very careful of the boss. He is doing void damage and he does a lot of damage. And then again, we're just going to shoot the boss one time with a rocket launcher. Maybe twice? No, we could have shot him twice. I would recommend, if you have the time, shoot him twice. But if not, don't worry about it. Not even sure how those guys died, but, you know, whatever. And then we're just going to clear these guys out. This wave is going to be goblins. The next wave is going to be harpies. So just keep that in mind if you don't kill the boss like we do. Like, we are literally going to melt these guys, and then we're going to melt the boss with our rocket launchers. So, and after that, if you still haven't got it after all 4 of the mini boss minotaurs are dead, you're just going to get waves of enemies. It'll start with goblins and fanatics, and it'll eventually end up with I think it's like 3 or 4 minotaurs will spawn in. Just watch the portals, watch their spawn points, and you should be okay. And of course, if you have a couple of Paragon mods in, if you're having some trouble, that's going to help you a lot too, because you'll get quicker class abilities. And on the Hunter's case, you go invis if you're rocking the Marksman's dodge. So go ahead and do that. And then as soon as you kill this guy, go ahead and just start dealing damage to the boss. You can actually do damage to him before he gets up, and that's really going to help us out right here to kill the boss. And so hopefully this guide helped you out. If it did, hit the like button, hit subscribe if you're new to the channel. And as always, stay positive, be happy, be healthy, live long and prosper, and I hope you guys have an amazing week.
Do you feel it? The light is back. We're back. Eyes out, Guardian.